So as you guys all know, we have started a new chapter, diversity among animals. So in the previous video, we have discussed about the characteristics of the animal introduction and the criteria of the animal classification. In this video, we will discuss about the classification that is based on presence or absence of tissues. Okay. So if we talk about the classification, so all the animals are basically multicellular. As you guys all know, they are having more than one cell. Okay, and their cells are eukaryotic, which means they are having two nucleus. Okay, and these cells join together form a tissue. Okay, when tissue join together and make a organ, and when organ join together, they made a organism. Okay. If you talk about as you guys all know, we were having the 33 phyla groups classification of the animals. Okay, and 9 were the major one and the rest were minor, as you guys all know. So from 9 minor phyla, one is basically the porifera, which is you can say that separated to the subkingdom because of the lack of tissues. So we are counting only 8 here. Okay, so they are basically having the lack of tissues, that's why they are not it's the not member of these are separate. Okay, and rest 8 phyla are consisting as a rest 8 we are considering consisting that as a eumetazoa. What does it mean by the eumetazoa? Okay, they are parazoa. They are parazoa, lack of tissues. They are eumetazoa. Eumetazoa, which means having true tissues, which means they consist of tissues, organs in the lower or groups or in the higher groups, both. So they are true metazoa. They are parazoa, which means lack of tissues. Okay. Now this was the classification on the basis of presence or absence of the tissues. They are having absence of the tissues, they are true tissues. Now we are having the classification on the basis of the tissue layers. Okay, the eumetazoa is having the proper organ system. Okay, so if we talk about we are having at the development stage, the germ layers basically produce germ layers, or you can say that tissue layers produce. Okay, so generally we are having 3 layers in the most animal embryo, but some animals is having 2 germ layer, which is the ectoderm inner one, outside one, and endoderm inner one. Okay, so that is the basically the 2 germ layer, which we are calling that the diploblastic, and they are basically the gastrovascular, which means they are having only one cavity, which means they will be having lack of anus, they will be having the one cavity of the ingestion and the ejection both. Okay, this is called the diploblastic. For example, you can take the example of the cnidarians. Okay, and one who are having 3 germ layers, we are calling that which 3 germ layers? Ectoderm, mesoderm, and we are having that is the endoderm. 3 layers, and between ectoderm and endoderm, they are having the, you can say that, tissues. Okay, not tissues but non-cellular, you can say that fluid. So we are calling that the mesoglia in the diploblastic. And if we talk about this is the 3 germ layer: ectoderm, mesoderm, and the endoderm. We were calling that as the triploblastic, which means 3 germ layer. Triploblastic. Okay, so when this triploblastic are such animals that are having the proper organ system level. You can take the example of human beings, chordata group. We are in the chordata group. You can take the example of the chordata platyhelminthes. Okay, flat earthworms we are having. So this was the classification on the basis of the tissue layers and the absence or the presence of the tissue. So in the next video we will discuss about the classification of the animals on the basis of the symmetry.